All right, today we're going to be installing these threaded inserts in the back of tin oaks, and those are my mounting screws, so we'll put those in like this, and that will allow us to bolt through the 2x4s on the framework and directly into the back of the wood and mount it all up. And I'll do a whole series of these on both sets of the 2x4s that's on the framework. I have a 2x4 running here and a 2x4 will be running up in here. Those 2x4s are set into the 4x4s, which there's two obviously on either end, and those are set in flush, so that gives me a flat surface to bolt the sign up to. So the first thing I have to do is to drill a 1/2 inch diameter hole as straight up and down as I can into this spot right here. Now, obviously the slab is too big to fit in my drill press, so what I'm going to have to do is figure out some other way to get the hole perpendicular. So the simplest thing to do was to come up with a block of wood that will allow me to keep the drill straight up and down, and then I had to calculate the depth of the block of wood and how deep did I want to go in the hole. I had to calculate the depth, and then I put this tape on here so that I know when I get to that tape I've drilled the full depth of my hole. So it's kind of rude and elementary, but it works, and this is what we're looking for. So I get it over the pilot hole that started, and I hold on to it because when it first bites into the oak, it's going to kick around. So I know it's going to happen, so I'm ready for it. Here we go. There's that kick I was telling you about. There we go. It gives me the depth that I needed. So now we'll get the insert started. Okay. And then what I'll have to do is come back in a little bit, in just a second, and tighten it up a little bit more once we get it going. But you want to try to keep that as straight up and down as you can, which obviously you're not going to get it exactly perpendicular doing it this way, but this is what I got to work with. So I'm going to snug up that bolt. Okay, I'll do some more. Once we feel it bite, then we'll take a look. Okay, now it's in there. That's pretty straight that way. That's tilting just a little bit this way, so we'll come back right here, tighten it up. Take another look. That looks still pretty good, and I like that. So now we can continue with threading the insert down inside the hole. But then also, same as in metal, when you're drilling and tapping metal, you don't just drill, tap all the way through without breaking the chips. If you break the chips, you get a better, cleaner thread, and your bolts obviously are going to fit a whole lot better. All right, we'll take this all the way down. And what I want is I want that nut to be slightly below the surface of the sign. That tells me my insurance is, well, there we go. Now I can take it out. That tells me that my insert is all the way flush in there, which it is. So that's how I'm going to install the inserts the rest of the way around the board. Well, okay, today I managed to finish putting in all the threaded inserts into the back of tin oaks, and then I managed to do a dry fit of the frame to the back of the sign to make sure everything worked out fine, and I'm really pleased the way it all worked out. As you can see, the 4x4s are notched so that the 2x4s fit inside, and then the 2x4s have a bolt that goes in from the bottom up into the 4x4s, so they're bolted together and it's not going to turn loose. And then all of these bolts and washers are stainless, so they're going to be resistant to the weather. So all in all, this came together very well, and I'm really pleased with the way this all worked out. So the next thing for me to do is to take this all apart and then start the final sanding on the framework and final sanding on the sign, and then do the painting of the framework and the clear coating on the sign. So it's coming right along. I'm really pleased the way it's coming together, and hopefully later this week we can get Ten Oaks put in the ground. I appreciate everybody stopping by and taking a look and see how things are going, and we'll catch you on the next one.